Hey everyone, today we're going to be doing LeetCode question top k frequent words. Given a non-empty list of words, return the k most frequent elements. Your answer should be sorted by frequency from highest to lowest. If two words have the same frequency, then the word with the lower alphabetical order comes first. So based off of this, whenever I think of top k, I'm usually thinking of a heap. And since we're dealing with frequency of elements, we're also going to involve a hash map of the string and its frequency. So let's get started. First, we can create our result array, which will be the return type of this function. And let's do a quick edge case check. If words is null, or the length of this array they gave us is 0, or we just don't have any words to even look through, let's just simply return our result. Now let's create our hash map of the key value pair of the string and frequency. Now we want to populate this map, so we can simply iterate through all the words in the array. So I'm putting the word in as the value, and then I'm going to do a little fancy syntax right here, get our default. So if the word is already in the hash map, let's get the current frequency, the current key that we have stored, otherwise default it to 0, and then add 1. Now we want to have a heap based off the hash map. So we'll do priority queue, map.entry string integer, which is the current way we've defined our hash map. Now we need to define our rules. So remember, we're dealing with the k most frequent words. That's what we care about. So if the value, which is the frequency, does not equal one another, then we want to basically say, well, if the values are not the same, then we want the value that appears more, because we're dealing with the top k most frequent. But otherwise, if the values are the same, we want to compare the keys. So a.getKey will get you a string, and then you have to compare a string using compare to, and then you do the key for the other. There we go. So just to reiterate, based off of this heap, we're saying if the two map entries we're comparing, if the frequencies are not the same, we will prioritize the entry that has the higher frequency. But if the two entries do have the same frequency, we want to prioritize the one with the lower alphabetical order. Now we want to simply populate our heap based off of this rule we just defined. So let's iterate through our map this time. You can iterate through that using map.entrySet. pq.offer, which is simply adding to our priority queue, and then we're just going to add every single entry. Now that we have populated our hash map and we have populated our heap based off of that hash map, we now have a fully populated heap with at least k elements that we can derive off of. So we can say, while k is greater than 0, let's take the next element. So to take next element, you use pq.poll, and we want particularly we want because this will give us an entry, we want the value, or no, I'm sorry, we want the key. So this will take the next element off of the heap, then we'll get the key associated with that map.entry, which will be the string. And then we'll make sure we decrement k, so that way we don't run into an infinite loop. And also, we want to actually store this inside of our results array. A little mistake right there. And just to add a little bit more comments, we're going to make right here, we're populating the heap from the map on trees. So I think this is it for the solution, so let's try it out. Awesome. So to go over the time complexity, it's O of n log k, given that we're using a heap. And then in terms of space, it's O of n, where n is the length of the words, since that will be where we're populating everything into the hash map. So our space will always scale linearly based off of the parameter. All right, awesome. Thank you guys. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.